But first, Alan Sugar found himself at the centre of a race row yesterday after posting a tweet where he likened the Senegal national football team to beach sellers in Marbella.
Well, joining us now is MP Dawn Butler, who says the Apprentice star should be sacked by the BBC, along with Lisa Cundy, who's known Lord Sugar for many years and says it's all been blown out of all proportion. And welcome both of you.
Yeah.
So, it was posted at 10:29 yesterday. I recognise some of these guys from the beach in Marbella, multitasking, resourceful chaps. It was removed 23 minutes later, but not before he posted, just been reading the reaction to my funny tweet about the guys on the beach in Marbella. Seems like it's been interpreted in the wrong way and is offensive to some people. Frankly, I can't see that. It's just funny, but I'll pull it down if you insist. Then he said at 10:48, I can't see what I have to apologise for. You are OTT, over the top. It's a bloody joke. And then 82 minutes after posting that message, I misjudged my earlier tweet. It was in no way intended to cause offence, and clearly my attempt at humour has backfired. I have deleted the tweet and I'm very sorry. Why should he be sacked?
Because it was extremely offensive. And it was posted the day after they beat actually my team. That Poland's the team that I've picked out of the MP's football teams, and I've got Poland. And Senegal beat Poland, they're a professional football team. Why on earth did he decide, he felt empowered enough to send out a tweet like that? Why not celebrate the fact that this is a professional football squad who just won a game in the World Cup? We celebrated England on Monday. Why try and denigrate and belittle a football team this way of black men? And remember, he's in a position of power. He works for our state television, the BBC. He runs The Apprentice. Can you imagine if you're a black man and you're going to go on The Apprentice, what you'll be thinking? Because in the back of his mind, we all know what he thinks, because he thought it was funny. How was it funny? I failed to see the joke. I even failed to see the context of a joke in his tweet. It was offensive, and his response was also offensive. Not just offensive, he's pretty arrogant. What an arrogant man.
Isn't there a thought, though? I mean, this is an older gentleman of a past generation. Some of them are finding it quite hard to catch up with what is and isn't acceptable.
We can't excuse racism from age.
He was saying that, and you can answer this in a moment, that he is not a racist, that he thought it was funny.
Oh, look, I know plenty of old people. I know people that fought in the war, you know, they would never be this racist. There's nothing funny about the tweet. It's just a belittling and degrading tweet. There's nothing funny in it. Deliberately, he did it to undermine. I mean, we thought the racism was going to come from Russia. Who knew that the racism would actually come from the Houses of Parliament, where I work?
Okay.
The Lord, no less.
Well, let's see what Lizzie has to say, because you've known him for a very long time. You count him as one of your friends. Well, I mean, what do you make of it?
I knew Lord Sugar. He was chairman of Tottenham Football Club. My ex-husband played under him for 5 years. But this is, I agree with you. It was a wrong tweet. It's a bad tweet. It's misjudged, and it was, for him, a joke, but a very ill-placed joke.
What was funny, though? What was the joke?
He is not a racist. And if you know the people that have worked under him, I was with some of the footballers yesterday when this all came about at the racing yesterday, and they said he may be many things, but he is not a racist. And they have to say this is being taken all out of context, because he did delete the tweet. He did apologise.
Under duress.
Yeah, but he as you said, I'm afraid, in today's generation, some of the older people do get it wrong. And Sarah Khan, who actually works with him on The Apprentice, Sarah Khan...
We cannot excuse racism
I'm not excusing
away.
I'm not, but she just said older generations don't always realise what is going on today.
No, he's not.
No, I agree with you.
I mean, he should know better.
But
like, he should know. He should.
Of course he should.
Better.
And I was totally shocked when I saw it myself. But if you look at Alan Sugar, we've known him for years on our TV. He has employed so many people and helped so many people from all different cultures. He's not a racist. You know, I spoke recently to many people that work with him, and, you know, Tim Campbell, who was one of the first apprentices that's done very well.
So hang on. So what was funny about the tweet?
No, nothing was funny.
So how can it be a joke if it wasn't funny?
It was an ill-judged joke on his behalf, and he did remove it.
It's not funny.
He did remove it.
If it's not funny, how can it be a joke?
He's got previous. He posted a controversial Twitter message about 5 years ago, a crying Chinese child to his Twitter followers, joking that the youngster was upset after being told off for leaving Apple's iPhone production line. So he, and he was investigated by the police for that. It didn't come to anything in the end, but he was investigated. You would have thought 5 years ago, he's a bright man. Right, learn your lesson on that. Don't do it again.
I agree with you totally, Philip, and I don't agree with this tweet. When I saw it, I have to say, I was shocked, and I was glad when he took it down, and he's apologised. But everyone that knows him, look at Piers Morgan, who they have many of these Twitter sort of fun banter rows on Twitter. He's not a racist.
Are you saying he's made a mistake? He shouldn't lose his job over it.
He shouldn't lose his job.
Because you believe he should.
Look,
you're actually calling for him to lose his knighthood.
The fact is this. Yeah, well, I just think his line, "You're fired," should be hanging over his head like it does his contestants. But the fact is this. The BBC has a code of conduct. Parliament has a code of conduct. Is Alan Sugar in breach of those code of conducts? If he is, then he needs to be disciplined. So the BBC should suspend him while they investigate. We've already established that his tweet wasn't funny. If it's not funny, then it's not a joke. Jokes have to be funny, otherwise comedians would be out of the job.
You've made that point now, and we've only got a couple of seconds left. But you're saying that he should potentially lose his knighthood, that he should lose his job on the BBC, and so that seems a very high price to pay for a man who's made a mistake and said, "I'm sorry." Are there no apologies acceptable?
Dawn, have you not made a mistake before? It's a mistake, and he has taken that tweet away, and he's deleted it, and he's apologised.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I've made a mistake. I'm not perfect. I've made a mistake, and sometimes you have to go on a journey. You have to learn from those mistakes. He's made more than one mistake. He didn't really apologise. It was an "I'm sorry, I'm not sorry" kind of apology. It needs to be investigated, because we'll be back here. I mean, I love the show. We'll be back here again discussing something else that Alan Sugar's done. He is in a position of power.
Okay.
He's an influencer. He has 5 million followers. He has a responsibility. We're going through the
Couldn't
World
you be-
Cup.
in our world now, we're all, everybody quite rightly and absolutely should be very careful what they say on social media, in their personal lives. Couldn't you be accused of bullying him now?
What, by holding him to account? No.
By not accepting his apology and going for him?
No, I'm not going for him. What I'm doing is trying to make him be accountable. Like everybody's held to be accountable. He is a lord. We have responsibility.
Yeah.
He is a lord. He's not just, a punter down a pub, having a little bit of a joke. He is a lord. He has responsibilities. He is on TV. He is on BBC. He has his own programme. He has responsibilities. A black man going on his show. And yes, Tim is great. He won The First Apprentice. He should maybe take over.
All right.
We have to leave it there.
We are
Sorry
out of time,
about
but thank you both very much. Very strong points, both of you. Right.